Welcome back everyone to another edition of Figures from the Attic. Today we're back with another figure unboxing and review, this time of Ultimate Edition Jacob Fatu. Now this video could be a lesson in patience because I had been patiently waiting to get my very first Jacob Fatu figure. I kept seeing them, like the elite versions from Mattel at Target and Walmart, even on ringsidecollectibles.com. But there was something about those that I just didn't want to pull the trigger on. I want to get one Jacob Fatu and I want to make it worth it. And when I saw the prototypes for this Ultimate Edition being released, I was like, that's the one, that's the figure I'm gonna wait for. And lo and behold, last weekend I went to Walmart and I saw him, there was one left. Of course I had to pick him up. I've been waiting for this for a while. Back at WrestleMania, my family and I, we did go to WrestleMania in Las Vegas. And in the WrestleMania store, they did have kind of mock-ups or displays of this figure. And I was super hyped about it, super excited. And looking at him through the plastic prison there, so far it's living up to the hype. I'm excited to get this bad boy opened up. There we go. We'll get him out of there, put him off to the side. As you can see, you do get 2 additional human heads and 1 Samoan werewolf mask, which I'm probably going to display him with. We'll see how it looks. You also do get a vest that fell here on the floor. You get a nice faux leather, kind of reminds me of like a Steve Austin vest. That's nice for an entrance gear. You do get a t-shirt, which again, it has Velcro. I noticed this with the Jim Duggan figure that came out, the Jim Duggan Ultimate Edition, that they started going back to the Velcro. For a while there, for the Ultimates, they had just the one single cloth without Velcro. You just kind of slipped it on them. I guess they started going back to the Velcro for whatever reason. And you do get some extra hands. Probably going to display him with these opened up hands. To me, those always look very toyetic, very posable, very expressive. But yeah, I mean, I do have the entire original bloodline. You can see them right down here. And I've been waiting to get Jacob Fatu because he's an important member. He has quite the lore in the bloodline storyline. So yeah, very excited to get him added. Will I add him to that shelf? We'll see. But let's just see what this figure looks like. So by default, you do get Jacob Fatu with kind of a menacing look. That looks kind of like one of the faces he makes when he's coming out. Maybe pre-promo, pre-match. He looks intense, ready to knock your head off. You do get kind of like the baggy pants that start off a little baggy on top and maybe taper off a little bit down here. They're mainly black with a Samoan werewolf design right there on the thigh. Really not much to it. Pretty basic pants. You do get the strappy boots, which I'm a fan of. Those look very nice. Of course, you get the toe articulation as well. Up top, you do get his tattoo. You do get the dreads, the wild red hair. You get kind of like the beads in there as well. So very nice beard, nice expression. And yeah, so far so good. As far as the other heads, let's see. You get more of a wild face. That's more of an open mouth. He kind of looks like Umaga there. He's like a spitting image of Umaga. Kind of reminds me of like the 3-Minute Warning days, Jamal and Rosie. That looks just like that. And you get more of a serious Jacob Fatu. Just kind of like snarling, like a lip snarl. That's a pretty nice one too. And of course, you can't forget the mask. I mean, the mask to me is what kind of makes this figure, what kind of separates it from the others, from the elites. I think that's just absolutely badass. And the neat thing about it is that they don't give you a mold, a head mold with the mask on it. They give you the mask separately, which I think is pretty cool. Because a lot of times, I feel like they would just give you an extra head where it's just like a head underneath wearing the mask, kind of like a cane. But this, you actually put it on. So it does come with a strap. And you put it right on top. Let's see how it sits. Looks pretty cool. I mean, it fits perfectly. So props for that. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of ones that didn't fit as perfectly with the Demolition figures. I feel like those masks don't fit quite right. They're a little too small, but this one sits perfectly right there on his head. His eyes are perfectly centered. I chose the open mouth, so you can kind of see the open mouth and tongue peeking below the mouth or the teeth of the mask. Very nice. That's definitely how I'm going to display this. I mean, that's one scary mask. I think that looks badass. But yeah, so there's Jacob Fatu. Let's put this entrance jacket on him. Looking kind of like Stone Cold. Make sure we pop the hair in the back. This vest, it does have that same kind of werewolf design on the back that you see on the tights or on the pants. You also do get, let me just put the shirt on also. You do get a Samoan werewolf shirt. Looks pretty cool. And again, with the Velcro. So if you guys know in the comments section, let me know. Because I know for a while, these Ultimates came with like the one-piece shirts. And then they started going back to the Velcro. The one I noticed it with was with the Jim Duggan. But maybe it happened before then. Let's also get the hands I'm going to display him with. Make him look a little more manic, a little more wild. Like he's doing a werewolf. Yeah. And we'll put the vest on top of that. And just looking through, something that gives me hope, because a lot of the figures I've been getting lately from Mattel, they've had a lot of like paint application issues. They've been kind of messy, a lot of splotches here and there. I don't really see any of that plaguing this figure, which is very nice. So I'm happy to report that. Now, will you guys display him with the vest and the shirt, or will you display him without it like he's ready for a match? I think you can't go wrong either way, because honestly, what makes this figure is the mask. So I think as long as you have the mask on, you really can't go wrong. But that is a very nice Ultimate Edition. I'm glad that I waited and I held out hope. I knew that one day they would release that Jacob Fatu that would fit perfectly in my collection, and that day was today. But as an overall score, I'm gonna go high on this one. I'm very satisfied. A lot of times you get a figure out of the package, you think it's gonna be great, and it ends up disappointing. This is not one of those. This definitely lived up to the hype for me. I'm gonna go a 9.1 out of 10. A 9.1 out of 10 for the new Ultimate Edition Jacob Fatu. As always, I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for more.